Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys some do-it-yourself DIY engine oil and oil filter change on the Kawasaki Versys. So the Kawasaki Versys engine oil needs to be changed once in 6,000 kilometers and preferably the oil filter as well. So let's go ahead and get started and let me show you guys how to do this. Firstly, let's talk about some of the things you will need to get started with this. So obviously you will need the engine oil. So what I have here is Maxima Racing Pro Plus 10W40 synthetic oil, and this is OEM. So Kawasaki recommends this, and if you do service your vehicle in a Kawasaki showroom, this is exactly the oil they are going to use on your engine. So the engine oil capacity is about 1.9 liters when fully drained. So this is a 1 liter can. So I have 2 liters to replace the engine oil on the bike. So the second thing you will need is the oil filter, which you need to replace. So here I have the Pro Filter PF303B. So again, this is something which is recommended to be used with the Maxima oil. And if you look at this thing's got a nice wrench support here welded onto it. And when you're getting this off, it becomes really easy to take it off without any oil filter wrench spanner. Some of the tools you will need to get this job done is a 17 mm spanner, which will be needed to remove the oil drain bolt. You will need a 5 mm Allen bolt remover with a ratchet to take off the fairings. You will need oil drain pan, which can accommodate about 2 to 3 liters of oil. You will also need a funnel to pour in the new oil, as well as you will need this special spanner for removing the oil filter and fitting back the new oil filter. So this is something which you can easily get on Amazon for about 300-350 rupees. Make sure to keep some rag handy to wipe off some of the excess oil which may leak onto the engine body as well as the exhaust pipes. So you will need to first remove the right side fairing. There are 3 bolts. You'll need to remove them to get access to the oil filter. So let's get started. Fairing has come off here, and you can now have access to the oil filter. So let's now remove the fairing on the right hand side to get access to the drain bolt. Before we start draining the oil, let's go ahead and start up the engine. Run it for about a minute and get the engine warmed up. So here's the engine drain bolt, which we need to get off with a 17 mm spanner. So let's go ahead and remove the bolt. I highly recommend wearing some kind of a hand glove to ensure that you don't burn your hand, because the exhaust system will be really hot after you run the engine for a couple of minutes. So we can see now that the oil is almost drained. But what I'll do is go ahead and tilt the bike a bit so that if there is any excess oil, it can come out. So now let's go ahead and remove the oil filter. So here's the new oil filter I'm going to go ahead and fit. So before fitting, I'm going to pre-charge this oil filter with some oil. Also apply a thin film of oil around the gasket here so that it locks up and seals nicely when we tighten this. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten with this with a 17 mm spanner. So please remember not to over tighten this, otherwise the whole filter may break. Let's now go ahead and put back the drain bolt. Need to nicely wipe it and clean it up before you do that. Don't over tighten the engine oil drain bolt. There are recommended torque specifications in the owner's manual. You may have a torque spanner, you may not, but just give it a slight yank and don't over tighten it to avoid any damage. So now you need to remove the plug of the engine where you need to fill in the new oil. So sometimes it is easy to remove this, if not just use a small plier to crack it open. So you can see there is a glass window here, and this is the oil indicator. There is a lower level and a higher level. So as you start filling about 1.9 liters of oil, we should just reach the top of this upper line here. So you can see that I have finished pouring all the oil, about 1.9 liters, and the oil level is just about near the top line. So we are all good, all set. I'm going to go ahead and start up the engine. So when you turn on the lights, you can see that the engine oil light is back on, and when you start up the engine, this light needs to go off. And post that, we also need to make sure that there are no oil leaks near the oil filter or the drain board. So let's go ahead and start up the engine. So there you go, the engine oil light has successfully gone off. So I'm going to go and wait here to see if the engine runs and make sure there are no leaks. So that's pretty much it, folks. The engine has been running for some time now. There is no oil leak near the filter, there is no oil leak near the drain board. The oil level seems okay. There is no light blowing up for the engine oil filter. So we're all set. So I'm going to go ahead and fix back the right fairing and the left fairing. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and please leave your comments. Thank you and bye-bye.